Okay, I'm about to do the back plate of this adjustable LCD 12864 display holder thing. Put the details here. You see the bed is set to 70, nozzle set to 90, printing PLA. Notice the LEDs flashing there, red, to warn me that the bed is pretty hot. This is using Arduino Nano and a sensor thing, and there's a thermometer, well, a thermocouple under the bed, separate from the amps, and that the software, the firmware if you like, signals that it's going to change colours like here, as mentioned here. Okay, and it's just going to do the levelling now. Well, the home first. So touches down with the BL touch. Big thumbs up. And then it's going to do the auto levelling. I'll cut this bit out and I'll come back when it's about to start printing. Okay, it's just starting. Let's get that, try and get that bit of plastic off there. So as I say, this is the back plate. Now I did this earlier and I've done some adjustment to this to try and hopefully make it a little bit better, like lining up with the front plate. A few other tweaks, just a bit tidying up of the file basically mainly. I think this is at least a 6-hour print, might be about more than even 7 actually. So it's an E3D clone, E3D version 6 hot end there with 0.4 nozzle, printing black PLA. This is new painter's tape on here that's been cleaned off of isopropyl alcohol, and I am using my quick release belt drive feeding mechanism. Got all the lights on. We'll go to focus here. To me it seems to be squishing quite well. See, now that hasn't, see how that's pulled up there? So sorry, my hand's causing it to go out of focus because I'm putting it in front of the camera. So that hasn't adhered. Even though it seems to be squishing quite well, as you can probably see, from the skirt that's been printing. And again, there should be a circle there. It's almost like it's not adhering to the bed, well, to the blue painter's tape. I do have some PEI, a PEI sheet on order. It should be here in about a week, I think. Hopefully that will resolve some of these problems I have with not adhering to the blue painter's tape. The blue painter's, when it does adhere to the blue painter's tape, the blue painter's tape is lifting off during the print, sticking to the part, so to speak, and it's still warping, having the blue painter's tape stick to the plastic part. When you take the plastic part off, it's tearing the blue painter's tape and you're having to relay it. A lot of messing about there. as you might be able to appreciate if you have a 3D printer. There's sort of the skirt there. Going to try another light on here. As an experiment, so I have two, I'll just show you that actually. So here is one of my LEDs, like a big 20-watt LED on a big heatsink. It's on an old like angle lamp, so I can move it about here on this piece of wood that's bolted to this sort of workbench that I have my printer on. And I can move that about. There's also one of these actually attached to a bracket on the tripod, which is a nuisance because of the weight of it, and it tends to be a bit springy, and when you're moving a tripod it causes a bit of wobble. But basically what I'm going to do is hold this in front of one of the lights like this. What I want to do is try and like solve any shadows. So let me turn this one off on the camera first. So we've got quite a bit of shadows over there at the back. This is just an experiment. This will obviously knock down a lot of light. That's without the paper on. Paper on. Give a few seconds to stabilize. Paper off. Paper on. Paper off. Okay, now let's really try turning that light off and do it with the same on the, like the LED that's on the camera. Almost exactly the same as this one, LED on the camera. It's just mounted on a bracket thing on a tripod, well, just underneath the camera. Right, I'm putting a piece of paper in front, as you might just about see. Let's move it away a bit. Take it away, back in front, take it away, back and front. This is so that I can, so it's in front now, as you can see. Take away, put it in front. Take away, put it in front. Probably might be better with some white sheets actually to reflect light about, rather than use that method, I think. Seems to be a few gaps in here. hard for me to know that even the light's on sometimes, but it is on. Maybe you can see better now, see those gaps there. That's a bit of a worry. Okay, let's get this on time lapse in a few seconds. Let's have a look. Yep, okay. Back to normal speed on the video for a bit. My initial impression, this is a better print, looking at it, than the previous print I did of the same model. Let's have a look at the time just now. So just a second. 2 hours 18 minutes. 2 hours 18 minutes. 190 on the nozzle, 70 on the heat bed. There is no fan on this. I know it shows it there, but there isn't. As you see by the bar graph, got quite a bit to go yet. Expect that. Printing onto blue painter's tape. This is freshly put on this blue painter's tape. The last model stripped it all, well, a lot of it off and damaged the blue painter's tape. So put some new stuff on, cleaned it off with isopropyl alcohol. E3D version 6 hot end, clone. That's got 0.4 nozzle on it. And feeding using my quick release belt drive. You can see the auto tram in there, moving the Z carriage up and down slightly as it prints. It's just turning like the Z carriage, the threaded rods there. I doubt if we can like just about make out part of the blue belt drive feeding mechanism there. did used to have some LED lights on the hot end, and I think that actually is better than using the lighting system I've got now, but those were actually damaged, so I'm going to have to maybe do something similar again. Just want to try turn up this light, just do it a little bit. I don't know, I'm having quite a bit of problems with my lighting since I removed the LEDs off the hot end, it seems like. That was basically just 2 sheets of cardboard with a few LEDs around the edge, sort of mounted on the hot end, pointing down. Okay, I'm going to put it back onto time lapse. Back to normal speed on the video, and it was lifting in the previous model over on the right hand side particularly. It seems okay. If I try to slip that piece of paper under there, it's not really going underneath, so I'm hoping that's okay. Let's have a look at the time. 4.5 hours. So 190 on the nozzle, 70 on the bed. That is why it's flashing red. This changes colour as mentioned here, and changes the signals to, in this case, warn me that the bed is hot. Okay, let's quickly go back to time lapse just now. Let's watch this a little bit first. So this is the normal, well, this is actually imprinting quite slow, 30% was the speed. Okay, let's get back onto time lapse. Back to normal speed on the video for a short while. Seems to be going well here. Just a second, time to get the focus sorted. Let's have a look at the time again. What we got there is 6 hours 33 minutes. As I say, it's set to 30% on the speed of this print. So I'm asking for it to print quite slow. Put the cover, cover was used to slice this model. I put the details of cover here. So here's cover. This is 15.04.6. And on the tools over here, got print one at a time. Let's have a look at the advanced settings. Okay, I'm going to put it back on the time lapse. Back to normal speed on the video. It hasn't got that much long looking at the bar graph. Show you that. So see, we've got this like bar graph that's almost to the end. It looks like a better print than the previous one I did of this. Well, there we are, it's finished. Now I want to check to see if that LED goes back to green, but it won't keep you holding on that long, I don't think. Let me have a look at the time on the display. So 7 hours 8 minutes. Looks like a good print. So look at that temperature, it's in 44. At 44 this should go back to yellow, but it's not. As I say, some heat might be actually trapped between the plates, so it might be a bit hotter under the bed. That is the heat mat directly underneath this aluminium sheet, although that is turned off. So I'm going to let that cool down, and then I'm going to see how easy it comes off the bed, etc, etc. So it looks like a good model. Now the previous model had almost a piece of plastic in here, like a line of plastic, or a couple lines of plastic. This one doesn't. I can feel the warmth of the bed there when I almost touch it. So I'm going to just let this stop like this for a good half hour, then I'm coming back. Good, it has returned to green. Let me look at the temperature on that. So it's in 26. Okay. See how easy it is to get off. I'm going to use one of these because it's quite thin. Oh, there seems to be a bit of support material under this edge here. I'm not sure how far that goes. Well, here. Oops, catching the there. It is basically a walk into the shop from the Try not to bend it too much, that's why I wanted to wait until it cooled down. Yes, there is some support on here, so that I want to redo the model to try and get rid of this support material. Get bits of this skirt off. Again, it's torn the blue painter's tape. So that was new blue painter's tape on there, cleaned off with isopropyl alcohol. Apart from that, a very good model. I think this is pretty flat. Seems to be. Let me see how well this fits on the other part. Really, the other part needs print again as well. This is the back, and this will sort of be the front. Yeah. Oh, that fits quite a bit better. Not perfect, there's a little bit here. And that might be more down to the front part. So basically that's how it's going to go. LCD 12864 in here, display there, knob, thing for the speaker. Like there's a push button there to extend the reset button that you can press, and a hole to adjust the LCD 12864 contrast. Hole in the back for the wires to come through. Pretty good print, that, very good print. Apart from I need to do some more design work to get rid of this support here. I don't really want those supports in there. So the next part I'll probably print the front part again. It's just this corner here. Seems a little bit out there. I'll try putting that. Can I put that corner on first? No, not really. But that gives a good clean edge around most of it, apart from that one corner. So here there's a bit of curve in there to try and help get your fingers in for the SD card. When I print out the next one, this will be a bit bigger as well, this cutout here. Okay, very pleased with that. Bit more design work, as I say, to remove those supports.